All right, ladies and gents, welcome to Journey to a Million. This is a series where we take $20 and we try to turn it into $1 million after we pay off our debt.
We currently have $59,162 of debt.
So what we're doing in this series is we're turning our short form into long form, and we're getting you guys caught up. We are going to be showing you our shorts from episode 11 all the way to 25 today to get everybody caught up, to show you what we've done so far, so that we can start making these long form, because honestly, there's so much going on with our eBay business that it's hard to get everything down to a minute for a short. So we are now making these long form, and we're going to keep the shorts for those who love shorts. Don't worry. We're going to keep doing our shorts, but we're just going to do the format a little different. It's going to be, the shorts are going to be, this is what we did, this is what we did, this is what we did. And this is going to be where we actually give you a little more in-depth. We're going to say, hey, this took a little while to sell. This is why, this is what we think, this was a bad purchase or whatever. So we're going to give you behind the scenes on our long form, and that's what we're doing here. We're going to show you all of our shorts, and we're going to kind of chit-chat in between them to let you know why things happen that way and what went down and what we've learned from this experience so far. So let's jump in to the first couple of episodes. This is Take Back Tuesday.
This is a show where we take $20 and turn it into the $60,000 worth of debt.
Yep, and we're a day late, sorry. All right, I just want to let y'all know that this is the third day in a row that I've stopped here and I haven't found a thing to buy. Sometimes it's easier just to walk away, is to just pick something up that you think might sell. Really do your research. The reason we've done so good is I've looked every single thing up that I've bought. I didn't just buy it thinking, oh, I think this might sell. I've looked it up, I've done the research. I know the profit margins on most things. The Disney DVD was a bad buy, but other than that, I've done the research on everything else. After 3 days of searching, we finally found something that we think can sell. This actually goes for about $150 online. This is the snuff out cover for it. This is the Son of the Hibachi Grill. I got this thing for $3.99, so everything's new still. It's unopened. It's just missing the box. I think this was a pretty good buy, especially after 3 days of absolutely nothing. And for $3.99, but this was the only thing we found that was worth anything. So be sure to always look and keep coming back, keep showing up. Something will eventually be there.
We spent $23 and we got some stuff. Got some golf shorts with the Callaway. Got this golf shirt. A Percussion Pro massager. Old Swampy here. He's heavy. And then we got a Beats case with Beats in it.
So I got all these juice lids from these different characters. I forgot what it was called, but this like little juice that has like the figures. There's a whole bag of them that I found at Goodwill for $1.99. It had some chrome ones in it, and I heard these go really good, and I thought it might have the Mickey that goes for $12, but it didn't have him, so I just lotted all of them up, threw it on there for $20. Somebody asked me if I'd take 17, and went from $1.99, which we need to take away, which we haven't done yet. And this sold for $13.62. So I made a quick $10, $11 from these. So not bad. We also sold this PS2 with no cables, untested. And we sold that for a total of $17.50. So with this, the total was $31.17. So what we're going to do is we're going to put $16 towards debt and $12 back into reselling.
All right, so I was able to give blood twice this week, which means I got $200 off of our debt.
All right, ladies and gents, this game just sold for a total of $28.91, which means we're going to put $14 into our debt and $14.91 into reselling. Focus, $56, you can't see it. We spent a total of $56 today. We got a Stitch plush, Mater plush. We got two of these little wireless speakers. We got this bag of toys. Somebody was asking for Bluey, saw these, picked them up. We got some green Converse little hiking boots that are brand new, really nice. Got this Minecraft set as well. I also found these three little dishes for $1.99. A Loungefly Disney bag. Paid $5.99 for this bad boy.
Huge shout out to Josh Hawkins for using our referral code for whatnot. Got us $5.
Yeah, so he got $15 to spend, and we got $5 to put towards our debt. So If you would like $15 to use on that app for free, right here is this, use this code right here, and you can actually go in and use this to get you $15 for free, and it gives us $5. So you get to buy things on the app. If you want to spend it on us, that's fine. If you don't have to, though. So if you see another seller that you want, use them. We're going to be running a Whatnot on Friday with action figures. So be sure to bookmark that show. It's already on our thing. Use this code. Go bookmark our show. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you. Thanks, Josh.
Got two items here. Got a cracker Tupperware container, I believe. We have some Asics shoes here. Look pretty decent. For both of them, we spent $13. It's Take Back Tuesday.
This is a series where we take $20 and we try to pay off the $60,000 worth of debt that we've accumulated, and we post these videos every single Tuesday.
Hopefully.
You know what drives me crazy? Whenever you accept an offer and it takes forever for somebody to give the payment to you. That's what's happening right now. We sold the Liam Barney football helmet and not a payment yet. It's been over an hour. But right now we're going to go ahead and talk about these shoes right here. We sold these for $20.26, which means we're going to take $10, we're going to put it towards our debt, and then we're going to take $10.26 and we're going to put it back into reselling. I walk into the post office. I open the second set of doors. Beep! Helmet sold. Instantly, as soon as I walked into the post office with another package. Like, if you would have just accepted it like 30 minutes before, you could have got it like a day early. But we got it sold, and it sold for a total of $17.77, which means we're going to put $8.77 back into reselling and $9 back into taking off debt. So we sold this game for a total of $45.69.
And we sold these Pharrell Williams shoes for $33.93.
Yep. And that comes out to a total of $79.62.
$39.62 is going to reselling and $40 is going to debt.
Guys, so I broke my own rules and I'm very sorry. Literally in my last video I said always look everything up. Today, I went to Goodwill, and whenever I got there, I realized that all of the cell phone service for Verizon was down, and there was no Wi-Fi at our Goodwill. It was all locked, so I couldn't use Wi-Fi, so I literally decided to pick up everything that I would have looked up to see if I would have bought it. So I took a gamble today. We spent a total of $60 on all this. So I'm going to look everything up on my iPad because my phone is filming me. All right, I just looked this up. Bought this for $1.99. It's selling for $4 to $5. My son's room's decorated in Star Wars themes. I'm going to go ahead and pay $3 for this for myself to keep it. All right, so this was supposed to have 4. It only has 2. I didn't realize that the 2 divots on the outside was for the other 2. So I got 2 of the 4. It's selling with all 4 for $18. So maybe I can get 10 for the 2 if I'm lucky. So that might have been a bad buy. That was $3.99. Up next are these white Adidas. So these are going for like $25 to $50. So not a bad pickup. No comps. So no idea what that's for. I paid $1.99. 20 listed, 0 sold. No freaking way. Dude, I just looked this backpack up. This thing has some sold comps for different color orientations, but the same bag for $225. That's a sweet pickup. That saved us. These Nikes, they're selling for like $24. I got them for $6. This vintage water cooler, there's none sold, 1 listed for $24.99. These 2 dolls, I've Google lensed them. I've done everything I can to try to find them, and I cannot find the brand of these people. I cannot find nothing. I'm gonna list them for $30 and see if somebody buys them. This is one of those chairs where you kind of air it up and you put air into it and close it down, and then you can sit on it and it's like a bean bag of air. This is selling for $12.99. I paid $7.99 for it. Other than that bag, I would say everything else was a bust, and I probably wouldn't have bought nothing except for the shoes because I like shoes. I probably would have bought these shoes and that bag, and that would have been it out of this haul. Everything else I probably would have left at the store.
Thank you so much to, I believe it was Urgis. You used our Whatnot code and we got $5. So if you also want to use our Whatnot code, put it right down here and use that and we can do referral.
and you get $15.
This is Take Back Tuesday.
This is a series where we take $20 and we try to turn it into the $60,000 worth of debt that we have accumulated over the many years of our marriage.
Many years.
We currently have $5.38 to spend.
Boom.
Let's hope some stuff sells.
All right, so we sold 2 Bluetooth speakers for $31.59, and then we sold this Fast and the Furious Dominic's Dodge Charger for $15.99.
We also sold this Hercules plate for $9.28. That brings us to a total of $56.86. We're going to take $28.86, put it back into reselling, $28 back into debt. Just picked up these huge orange bright Hokas for $22. They're practically brand new, been worn a couple of times.
We sold this purple and white Greg Norman golf shirt for $16.40. That's $8 to debt and $8.40 to reselling.
This is Take Back Tuesday.
This is a show where we take $20 and we turn it into the $60,000 worth of debt we have.
Yep, and we are trying 2 new side hustles this week, but we have some stuff sell first, so let's go to that right away. And then we'll tell you about 2 new side hustles that we've done that's going to take away debt, I think, really quick.
All right, so we sold Bing Bong. We sold him for $13.37.
We also sold this super sleepy Mickey mug.
Yeah.
This is my life this week.
Yeah.
This sold for $11.93, which is a total of $25.30 for these 2 items. That means
that $12.30 is going into resale and $13 is going into debt.
we sold Spin for $11.08. $6 going to debt. $5.08 is going back into reselling. All right, we sold 2 things. The first thing we sold was this bobblehead. We sold this for $12.72. We also sold this digital camera for $45.87. It is going out the door. That means we have sold a total of $58.59. We're going to take $29.58, put it back into reselling. We're going to take $29 towards debt. So we signed up for DoorDash and we went 4 to 5 times this week. Here is what we learned and how much we made. So we are at Subway and we are doing our very first DoorDash. We decided to pick up some DoorDash orders just to get things rolling. Maybe we can make a little extra money and be able to pay off our debt a little bit faster. So on some random nights, we're going to do some DoorDashing just for like 30 minutes to an hour, just to knock out some extra money, see what we can't make. We have a Subway order from Michael. It's our first client, and it says we're going to make $10.50 on it.
Hey, we did it! This is day number 2 for DoorDash, and we didn't tell you how much we made last night.
Yeah, last night we made a total of $25.50.
That's right. So we made that with 3 stops, and our active hours were like an hour and 15 minutes. Yep. So I feel like that's not bad. That's a pretty good job. Keep up with your mileage and your gas for tax time.
Yep.
Okay, so we dashed all night last night. We were so tired when we got home that we didn't film a video. So this is the recap to last night. We did 9 dashes and we made $81.82, which honestly, in our little bitty town, I was pretty impressed with. Okay, thank you. Okay, so even though we made $82, even though that we made $82, we still drove 86 miles last night. I told you it was rural, so we made like $1 a mile-ish after everything came out in the wash. So I don't know, I feel like that's decent.
Second order.
Okay, hold on, I gotta take a... We decided on the weekend, on Saturday, that we would take a really long shift for DoorDash. And we took an 8.5-hour shift. We drove 129 miles. And we made $127.80, making 18 deliveries. We were rolling that day. It's a cow. It's the cow whisperer.
That was weird.
You just clapped your hands at that thing and it walked away.
Today we DoorDashed during lunch for 1 hour. It was a good hour block, but we only had 2 deliveries for $11. Not really good at all, but hey, that's $11. to debt.
You can't deliver pizza unless you have a pizza warming bag. And so we decided that we would go ahead and buy one of those. It's got DoorDash's label on it and everything, and it was $11.13. So since we made pretty decent money last night, we bought that bag because in our hometown there's 3 pizza places that don't deliver.
The second thing is Amazon Flex. This is the thing where you can go and pick up Amazon packages and deliver it like you're an Amazon delivery person. Really kind of cool. We've done one of these so far, and here's our experience.
Okay, just got done with our first Amazon Flex delivery. It went decently. Picked up a 3.5 hour block. It only ended up taking us like 2 hours to do it for $54. So, you know, we made really good time. The starting out was not fun though. The guy was not nice. Not nice at the Amazon place. We got there right at 11 o'clock, which is apparently the wrong thing to do. It said arrive up to 15 minutes early, but no more than 5 minutes late. We arrived at 11 because we got a little bit lost. And so we get there and he keeps kind of ignoring us. And he finally comes over and he couldn't get my driver's license scanned correctly. And he keeps saying I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to work. So then he says, okay, pull over into the problem line. Not a problem. You're a problem. So we pull over there and he brings out this cart and he says, your first time? I said, yes it is. Not 100% sure what I'm supposed to do. Okay, scan this. So I try to scan it and it's coming up with an error code saying that this is a longer block, and the block that he gave us was a 4-hour block when I only signed up for 3.5. And he's like, okay, then you're at the wrong place. You came at the wrong time. I said, no, I didn't. Andy started arguing, no, we didn't. Finally, he found us a 3.5 hour block. We pick it up. We get to go in. He doesn't give me an Amazon vest. As you can tell, I'm wearing regular stuff. He's supposed to give me an Amazon vest. Didn't get that. But we did our deliveries. Got 18 of them done in the next town over. So it was a little teensy bit of a drive. Not too bad. But yeah, we got our first Amazon delivery flex drive down. Future notes, arrive early so Mr. Man doesn't get all upset with us. Alright, so at this point in time, we decided to try a little bit of side hustling, not reselling, but we tried to dip our feet into DoorDashing and Amazon Flex. And so we tried this and it was extremely successful.
It was. We had a huge break. This is really what got us moving. This is stuff that really got us going. Definitely brought in a lot more money this episode, as you can see. If you have money, you can spend money, and then you can make more money. Because what we do is we take 50% of everything, and we put it towards our debt. But yeah, we've really enjoyed DoorDashing and things like that. It's kind of like a little date night between us two. Like, we get to hang out and just listen to music loudly and dance and sing.
Addictive.
It really is. It's kind of fun seeing, waiting for that.
Like a gamble.
That little ding, ding, ding,
I'm going to reject this one offer for not good, but hopefully I'll get a better one.
Yeah, we've had some crazy DoorDash stories, but we might have an episode where we just kind of talk about all our behind the scenes stories if you guys are interested in that. But we won't get into it here. But we definitely started making some extra money real quick, and you definitely need to break into some other side hustles, especially if you're trying to pay off debt quick. Don't just stick to one. We were sticking to one for the first 13 episodes. For the first 13 episodes, we tried to bank just on reselling. And with this, we set it up where our challenges are. We only have 3 things. We have our phone, we have a vehicle, and $20 to pay off this debt. And that's the only thing we can use. So we thought we'd start utilizing that car. We have the ability to use it. I know not everybody has that, but that's something that you can work towards. That's something that you can work towards. If you don't have that, you have to find some other ways to do this. But even if you take the bus to a Goodwill and then get off and buy something and just bring it in a backpack, you can definitely do this. Mm-hmm. So you can definitely do the eBay side of it. We're just showing multiple different ways for people who are at different stages of their get out of debt journey. This might not be feasible for you where you live, where you are.
So this is obviously if you have the time. I work a lot, and so sometimes we are very limited on the amount of times that I can be super involved. He's a lot more involved. He's made this his life goal, his life mission. So there might be some times that you see more him than me. Yeah. I try to be as involved as I can, but
it's kind of my business. This is kind of, I took it on. This is what I wanted to do. I'm not kind of forcing her to do it, but she's helping me out. She's like today she went and found some Lululemon shorts. We'll talk about that.
I'm so excited.
We'll talk about that in the future.
That's a big one.
Like that's the first time we found Lululemon, and we're
We've been
already
looking
through
for 'em.
25 episodes. So like we have no Lululemon around our area. You might live in an area where you have tons of Lulu.
We don't.
We don't. So it's everybody's different. We have a lot of good shoes. So I buy a lot of good shoes. That's kind of where we're at.
Our area is saturated with Carhartt things.
Yes.
We have lots of Carhartt,
Yeah.
so we have out the wazoo with some Carhartt and
So-
Wrangler.
So definitely reach these goals where you're at. Let's go ahead and jump back into episode 15. This is what we got from 3 storage units this week. Got these 2 bikes. This bike is a Mongoose. This bike right here is a Walmart bike. Sells for $360. A lot of these speakers, probably about $200 to $300 worth of clothes. That bag of shoes, probably about $300 worth of shoes. Probably about $200 worth of bags there. A Kareem Hunt football jersey, brand new with tag. MSRP is $150. Is all new stuff. Like there's tons of flashlights, tons of lights, tons of tools. All this
Trash.
stuff is trash. So we got tons of books. Got 3 chairs. I think they'll go for $50. Got some tools. Got some tools. Got some tools. Probably $200 worth of tools. We got this bike, really cool old bike. Not sure how much it goes for. It's got a really nice seat. I think we're gonna easily make $1,500 to $3,000 if everything sells for what I think it would. So I paid $220 for all 3 units. But that's this week's episode, guys. We definitely have a lot of work to do ahead of us. So I'm gonna start listing all this stuff. Guys, this is where Holly started hating the business and where I started having tons of fun.
I hate this.
She
I hate
hates this side of it.
If you get into reselling,
Yeah.
just know that the amount of just sheer stuff will just suffocate you. And it's not as bad when you're just going to Goodwill and you're getting a couple bags here and there. It's when your husband comes up to you and says, "Hey, guess what I just did? I just bought 2 storage units."
I bought 3.
3 storage units. Might as well be 16 storage units, because when we started this, we have a storage container that my father bought us, that he told us to buy, that he bought.
Yeah. I came home one day and there was a
And
storage
there's
unit
a
in my
storage
back.
container in our backyard. So we have that, and we were like, oh, we'll put my craft stuff in there, some storage stuff. And when we started this, he had his little shelves in there and everything was contained. And then the storage units happened.
But the problem is the day I bought the storage units, I bought one of them and I bid on 2 others just to like see if I just kind of bid on them just because they were there type thing.
Don't do that.
And I won them with like pretty cheap. So I won 3 different storage units
With
and I had no idea how much stuff can fit into
so much stuff.
a unit. And here's the problem. It was still in like the getting cold phase. So it's like in November and it's starting to get cold. So whenever I bought them, it was like a warm spell. Then we hit freezing cold. We had like a bad storm come through that brought in cold temperatures, but I had to shove all of this stuff in the storage unit to save it from the rain that was about to come the next night. Like it was like a storm that wasn't supposed to come, and then it showed up, and then I just had to shove everything in there. So
bad, man.
It was very bad. I'm literally just now getting to go through that stuff. Like I'm just now posting the clothes that came from that storage unit.
Because of just the sheer amount of stuff. We've sold stuff from this.
Yeah. I sold all the
The big stuff.
the big stuff, all the stuff that I knew would sell good. At the time, I hated selling clothes. You'll see in like the newer episodes, I built this thing back here in the back
It's great.
to sell clothes on.
Because we were
Yeah.
like photographing them in our bathroom, and they end up being in a big pile in our
Hanging them
bedroom.
on the wall. I'll hang them on the
Reselling
shelf
is
until the
not
shelf
for
broke.
the week. Our house is absolutely destroyed.
But
the
it's
next
not now.
house, the next house that we get, he will have a
You definitely
business
need
area.
storage for it,
You
especially if
need
you're doing it this big.
Storage.
Yeah.
If you want to live.
If you want to pay off debt, you need to have some storage, especially if you're going to make dumb purchases like we did in the beginning. The problem is we still have a lot of that dumb stuff, and we're kind of going through it now. I've built some really good storage units, shelf walls, and things like that all are going to be in the new episodes. We're jumping the gun on you a little bit. Sorry about that. But all that
We're
stuff will
letting
be...
you know the growing pains
Yeah.
at this point.
At this point, our house, we're keeping this in our house in totes. And our house is a decent house, but it's not big enough practice
for a reselling
to have a
business.
resale business in it.
And for humans.
Yeah. So we had totes stacked up in our bedroom.
Totes on totes.
Back, like, the kitchen, I built like this like coffee bar for her, and
And
it
I have
ended up,
yet to be able to use it because it turned into his photographing station.
it's my photograph station / where I keep my eBay stuff during the time.
I'm not salty at all.
Yeah. So we bought these 3 storage units, and we did not have room for them, and we had to quickly sell them.
Great turnaround for money.
Oh, yeah.
But the sheer amount of stuff that came from this. Honestly, looking back at all this, most of this should have just gone straight into the trash.
And just like 50% should have gone to Goodwill, 50% should have gone to trash.
We tried to scrimp every little piece and tried to make money, and we made the money. It just, we sacrificed our well-being.
Yeah. So what I've done and what
stuff.
I've learned from this is that
Don't bid on 3 storage units at the same time.
that
Number
helps.
one.
Yeah, that
Don't
helps.
do that.
But then second, what I learned was go in with make your money and keep what's gonna sell, because not everything's gonna sell. And my thought process was, I'll just keep it all, because like if I don't make my money back, I've got to make my money back because I'm doing this project. Be able to buy a storage unit and be okay with it if you lose.
And go up there with trash bags. Weed through it there first before you get it home.
Yeah.
Helps out a whole bunch.
Yeah. But yeah, let's jump back into it. Let's get into episode 16. We realized that we had a debt that was nearly paid off.
Almost $500 left.
That's all we got left on this. We're going to try to take this weekend to knock out $500. Let's see if we can do it. We took all day and we dashed 14 hours and 22 minutes. We did 2 different shifts. The first shift we made $302.74.
And then we thought that we could do just a little bit more, and we did $57.78.
Yeah. So we made a little over $360 off the first day of door dashing. We also had some other things that came up that we were able to make some extra money on this day, and here they are. We are at the plasma giving place that Holly donates blood to. She's gonna go donate blood while I keep door dashing so we can double up and make some extra money. I think you can make $45 today if she's able to donate.
$45.
Yeah, so if she can donate, she can give us $45. That'll be a little step closer.
Okay, well that was a disaster. So I tried to donate plasma and they couldn't hit my vein at all. She was not very nice. But since they already put the label on the bottle, I get $45. So yeah. I still got paid even though I didn't actually donate. We just got done with our Sunday night DoorDash. We ended up dashing for 8.5 hours. It was really good. We ended up making $136. We were rolling, but it was good. It was good stuff. We did it.
We made $500 in 2 days just off side hustles. That is unreal to me. It was a lot of hard work. We spent tons and tons of hours working.
I'm so tired.
But we pulled it off and we got $500 in 2 days to pay off a debt. So that's one debt down and on to the next. Guys, if you need money, we proved that it can be done. We made $500 in 1 weekend, like literally 2 days.
Worked hard, but we did it. We made over $500. I think $540 something dollars.
We started at 7 o'clock in the morning both days and went until what? Midnight, 1 o'clock on Saturday, and then on Sunday we worked up until 8 o'clock because the kids had to be in bed and they had to be with us because we couldn't get a babysitter.
Yeah, so we door dashed all day that day. I also donated plasma that day for some money. So between DoorDash and plasma, we made a very good amount of money.
And it was an awesome weekend. definitely recommend if you want to, if you need it.
You need to knock out a bill real
able
quick.
to do it.
Do it.
We need to get back on that hustle because, man, we were killing it back then. Like, we were doing that in literally 2 days. We made $500, which is nuts.
It's Take Back Tuesday.
This is a series where we take $20 to try to make it where we can pay off our $60,000 worth of debt. This is the second thing that sold from the 3 storage units that we got. It sold for a total of $21.55. We sold this wish cup for $20.48. We sold this brand new Carhartt hood for a jacket for $18.83. That's a total of $60.86. We're going to put $30.86 back into reselling and $30 back into paying off debt. Today we took an Amazon Flex order for $64 and we did it in we did it in 3 hours, so we knocked an hour off the time and we made $64 today. We just sold this blue microphone out of the storage unit sale that we just had last week. That means $9 is going to go into debt and $9.94 is going to go back into reselling.
It's Take Back Tuesday.
This is a series where we take $20 and we turn it into the $60,000 worth of debt. So we just sold this Sony Walkman for $27.14. What's up, everybody? We sold 3 things today. First thing is Little Sweets from Dr. Pepper. He sold for $7.10. We sold this watch out of the storage unit buy. That sold for $12 even. We also got this Black Laws dictionary out of the storage unit. That sold for $13.78. That means we had a total of $32.88, which means $16 is going to debt and $16.88 is going back into reselling.
Something really interesting just happened. We booked a Amazon Flex shift for 3.5 hours. I got a notification that said it was canceled. I'm like, whoa, hold up. And then I got an email that said that due to circumstances beyond anybody's control, my block was canceled, but I'm still getting paid.
$62.50, I think it was.
Yeah.
So watching these back, I'm realizing that we've might have made some mistakes on our math. We just watched episode 18 into 19, and if you look, the numbers are the same at the beginning of each episode.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if we are behind or what.
I'm gonna have to do some recalculating.
Yep. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna put episode 18's numbers in the final episode of where we're at, so hopefully that doesn't mess us up. So we're gonna put this as like 26 numbers. Like, yeah, this is really hard to keep up with, but yeah,
Whoops.
we messed up. So yeah, all right, we definitely messed up, but
Our heart's there.
I think But one thing that's good about episode 18 is 90% of it is selling stuff. I don't think we bought anything in this episode, did we? So luckily that was all profit from that episode. So that is going to help us out a lot. We're just going to add that total towards the end of... I don't know
how we're gonna fix it.
We're going to fix it though.
We'll fix it. Promise. Promise.
So what I think we're going to have to do is we're going to start from episode 1 and we're going to do the math to make sure that we're correct. All the way up until episode 25. And we were talking, and we're actually going to have another episode that we're going to do. We're going to do episode 3 of us sitting here and kind of breaking it down because we just realized that we have a lot of footage that don't have YouTube style filming on them. We haven't edited them yet, but they don't have YouTube filming yet. So there's going to be one more episode of us breaking down shorts like this, but it's going to be a lot better because we're going to be able to edit it how we want and add the math to it.
We're figuring this out, you guys.
So we're definitely learning as you guys with us. So it'll be like episode 5 and 6 will be, or episodes 4 and 5 will be new YouTube style, hopefully. I don't know. We're winging it, guys. We're going to jump into episode 20 because we obviously have messed up on some stuff. But we sold a ton of stuff. So, yeah, we're definitely in the selling zone. Like, this storage unit has some good stuff that sold quick. which I love.
It's Take Back Tuesday.
This is a series where we take $20 and we try to turn it into the $60,000 worth of debt. I sold this light for $28.76. I sold these arrow figures $26.21. Roman piggy bank for $8.11. Wireless iron for a total of $20.25. A socket driver set for $24.71. Flight simulator game for $32.65. That brings us to $140.69. Put $70.69 back into reselling and $70 into debt. We sold this Halloween mask for $7.16. We sold these Puma flip-flops for $8.31. We sold this flashlight for $13.55. That brings today's total up to a total of $29.02, which means we're going to put $15 back into debt and $14.02 back into reselling. Axe right here for $16.24. We just sold these 4 items.
We sold this St. Louis Rams helmet thing for $7.52.
It's a tape dispenser.
Yeah.
We just sold this JBL speaker for $44.71.
We sold this socket ratchet set from Hart for $16.42.
We just sold this light for $15.34.
Right.
Sorry, 33 cents.
So the total of all of that was $83.98. And so that means $42 gets put towards debt.
$41.98 goes into reselling. Sold for $11.25, which means $5.25 is going back into reselling and $6 is going into debt.
We just got done door dashing. We door dashed twice today. Once this morning for just a little bit. Then we door dashed tonight and we made $135.56.
We just got back from Lowe's. We bought 5 totes. We bought some hinges. I bought this power strip because I needed something to be able to test things closer to me, so this would help out a lot. Some blue painter's tape. I bought 4 rows of it, but I'm not seeing it. We spent a total of $140.11. We sold these shoes for $85.27. We sold these Hokas for $56.25. And last but not least, we sold this battery charger for $51.15. That comes out to a total of $192.67. We're going to put $96 back into debt, and we're going to put $96.67 back into reselling. This morning, we decided to do a little DoorDash. We did $32.18.
Just got done with our Amazon deliveries. It was $82.50, which was pretty good.
We DoorDashed and we got $19.75. Then we did an Amazon Flex where we got $70. All right, at episode 22, we realized that we've been misspelling episode the entire time. So that's always fun. Watching these back, we're learning some stuff. So we have finally started investing in the company. This is where you start seeing us buying some totes. We started buying some more, started buying some totes and different things like that. So we definitely are starting to grow and put more into the business side of things to be able to be better off.
So even though I hated the storage buildings, they did have a lot of stuff in it, and we are selling like crazy.
Yeah, we have up to like $300 to sell, like to go buy stuff at this point in the series. So this is definitely a good place to be because it's always nice to be able to go into a store that has good product and be able to buy that good product.
Not worry about like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't have enough money to get all the good things.
Yeah.
Now we can pretty much get the good things.
A lot of times we were passing on some good stuff to get the things that we thought would sell faster, and yeah, it was hard because we couldn't just buy both of those things. We'd have to pick and choose between what we want. But now that we have a good solid foundation budget here, it's definitely helping us out and definitely getting us good foundation. But we're to the point now that we're going through so many boxes and some different things that we're buying so much stuff that we're having to store a lot more. So we're buying totes instead of it just being kind of laid out in our house. So that's where we're at.
We are getting there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. And obviously the storage units, we had our whole entire building filled up out here. So we just started bringing totes to put the good stuff in to bring in and switch them out, and hopefully they would sell quick. So,
And he's continuously posting. There's a lot of stuff that we buy, and it takes him a little bit to get it posted because there's just so much backlog. But
Yep.
because he is continuously posting rather than just posting one at one time and then going like a week without posting anything, because he's continuously posting, we are selling a lot more. We have figured that out about eBay.
yeah, you're talking about like the listings. Yeah, so with the storage unit, I'm able to list 10 things every single day. And I I would take photos for a lot more, and I would just save those in my queue. Instead of posting those, I would only post 10. Then I would do 10 more, and I would post 10. I would post 10 a day, and 10 a day got to the point where I was making about 7 to 8 sales a day.
Because we noticed if he took days off, like if we were to be out of town or I was at a craft show or something, and he wasn't able to post for 3 or 4 days, our sales would go wow.
Yeah, so
and it'd take us a little bit to get them back up.
Yeah, so definitely be consistent and stay consistent. If you're going to go out of town, have a couple in your queue that you can just post for a couple of days while you're gone. Even if you post 1 or 2 things just to show eBay, hey, I'm here, what's up?
Still active.
That really helps out a lot. So, yep, now we're to the point where we're starting to reinvest back into our business. So that's always nice. It's really hard to do sometimes, but you definitely got to do it. And we're to the point where we need a lot more totes than this, but that's all we felt like we could afford at the time. So that's all we bought.
This is Take Back.
And this is a series where we take $20 and try to turn into $6,000 worth of debt. Can we do it?
Whoop.
Flashlight for $19.61. And we sold really nice boots. We sold them for $33.40. That brings the total to $53.01, which means we're going to put $26.01 back into reselling and $27 back into debt. Walking Dead toys we sold for $13.27. We sold this Oreo cup with the Oreo holder and the tongs to dip it for $9.50. We sold this Broncos hat for $15.35. Dr. Pepper Funko Pop, we sold this guy for $10.40. Cornhole scorekeeping cozies, a total of $7.59. This racket sold for $23.32. This food set, $4.43. $83.86. $41.86 is going to go back into reselling, and $42 is going to go back into knocking off some debt. This is a series where we take $20 and we turn it into the $60,000 worth of debt we have accumulated. We sold this tool for $24.91. We sold this speaker right here for $9.38. It ended up selling for $9.83. We just sold this little nifty book for a total of $12.64, which means $6 is going into debt and $6.64 is going back into reselling.
We went door dashing and we also did Spark for the first time, and we made $35.74.
We sold this video game for $3.50.
We sold this little bookmark for $2.71.
We sold these Croc charms and it sold for $8.54. We only made $14.75 today.
That means that we're going to do $7 a day and $7.75 back to sales.
Doing an Amazon route. This is going to be a $78 route. Today we sold 5 different things. Let me show you what they are. These Winter Army boots, $42.72. This light sold for $21.75. This camera bag and stuff inside of it, $19.63. This game sold for $8.22. This shirt new with tag sold for $16.55. And that was a total of $108.87. So that means we're going to put $54.87 back into reselling and $54 towards debt. So we sold 3 things today. This controller, we sold it for $19.78. And we sold this wax warmer for $7.40. We just sold this new with tags Nike hoodie for a total of $25.75. Those 3 things all total up to be $52.93, which means we're going to take $26 and put it back into debt and $26.93 back into reselling. All right, ladies and gents, there you have it, 25 episodes in. We have quite a bit of stuff selling, as you can see, because we were posting so much from those storage units. We didn't go out and buy anything because we had so much on hand. One thing that we've learned throughout this is don't create a death pile. If you buy it, post it. It will not sell if you just pile it up in your house and don't use it.
Which is what has happened with a few things.
Yeah, because we got so far behind with the storage units that it was really hard to get caught up. Now we're to the point where we're just busting through things. But don't let that death pile get there. It's really easy to go buy stuff, and it's really hard to post it sometimes. If you're going to buy it, try to post it within the next couple of days, if not the day of, because like you need to get this stuff gone. List things, man. I'm telling you, list it or else it won't sell.
And he creates goals for himself. Like, I'll be working and he'll say, I'll be back. I'm going to go post 20 things. And he'll go outside and my email will start blowing up with, I posted. And he just sets goals for himself. And he knows that by the end of the day, he wants to post 20 things, 30 things, 40 things. And that just helps get him through the pile if he sets goals for himself. So set goals.
Yeah, set goals. I write it down on a piece of paper every single day. I have 8 things that I go through that I achieve every single day. So make sure you go through and you reach those goals. Marking stuff off is like a huge accomplishment for me. Being able to do that, definitely something I highly recommend doing. But yeah, now, like she said, I'm to the point now where we're buying so much stuff and we need so much, we have so much extra money. We're able to get to the point where I'm posting 20 things a day as my goal. And
we're also into 3 different side hustles at this point.
Yeah.
We started out with DoorDash. We make great money with DoorDash. I say we make great money. Sometimes it's a miss.
Yeah.
We also do Amazon Flex. I have not done Amazon Flex in a little bit. It was crazy during Christmas, and you make some good money Christmas, Black Friday area.
And it's hard to go from like making
really is.
$120 a load to $60 a load for the same time. They
So-
needed so many people during Christmas that they had to pay extra.
like peak pricing, which was really nice. And so it's kind of hard to be like, oh man, 3 hours for only $70.
Yeah,
Like,
so we haven't done that since Christmas because they've dropped their prices so much because it's not in as much demand right
yeah.
now.
And then the third thing we've actually picked up is Spark, which is through Walmart, and you can make some pretty good monies with the Spark.
Yep. So we're going to be breaking down some episodes. We're going to be talking about all these things more throughout. Just to let you guys know how far behind we are on footage, we kind of slowed down.
It's crazy.
We kind of slowed down after Christmas on posting, and literally what you saw there was before Christmas. So our last episode 25 was before Christmas, and we just posted that last month. So we're pretty far
Just being
behind.
real with you guys.
Yeah, so we're going to be posting all those videos. We're going to be able to make them into long form videos, I believe, to make it look sneaky enough where you can't tell that it's a TikTok video, since we haven't done the numbers at the bottom.
Yeah.
That kind of blocks it off. We haven't done that yet, so I'm going to be able to zoom in, make them look good.
At this point in our journey, we have paid off $2,628
Let's go.
of our debt that we have compiled.
Yeah, so that is huge for us. We're super
Massive,
excited about it.
Which is great.
Yeah, you definitely...
Good job.
Yeah, so we're almost at $3,000 paid off debt. So
And
that
we
is
just started
huge.
this journey last year.
Yeah.
I think with these long form videos, we're now going to start being current because it's going to be a whole lot easier to update you guys on what we're actually doing rather than trying to squeeze it all down into a minute.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of hard for us to do because there's so much stuff that we do that I'm having to like on the phone because I ramble a lot.
Yeah, she does. I pretty much cut I start the beginning and do the ending. She tells a story in between every single one of them.
Story, and I want to tell you guys because
And,
my life
yeah.
is actually tragic most of the time, and I want to tell you guys about it. And he's like, to the point,
Our first
ma'am, to the point.
Amazon delivery was crazy. Like I
Insane.
cut that story down from like 8 minutes to like 30
I got
seconds.
done with it, and he was like, I can't use that. You
Yeah.
have to make it a whole lot quicker. I'm like, the guy was really mean.
Yeah. So I ended up using her real story, but I just cut out like literally 10 seconds here, 10 seconds there. Like, we want to be able to tell these stories and like tell you exactly how it really happens and what to look forward to, because not everything is,
Quick.
yeah. And
Weird
honestly,
stuff happens to us all the time, you guys.
like we have times where we lose money on things, but we cancel those orders. We're going to tell you about those things. Like, if we're going to lose money, we tell you how to cancel them, do things like that. It's a mess. Like, there's a lot to do.
Guys.
Like, we're going to be like, if you watch other YouTubers, they tell you the bread and butter. This is what we made. This is what we did.
Not us.
I literally showed you episodes here that in the first episode, I still have 3 things from the first episode, and we're on episode 25. Over a year, I've had these huge beer glass mugs with little
So
dimples.
ugly.
I thought they would sell because I sold a couple of beer glasses before I started doing the challenge.
The ones that didn't break.
Yeah, so I started doing before I started doing this challenge, I started an eBay business on my own. And then I was like, you know what, this isn't working. Let's do a challenge so that we can not spend too much money.
Yeah, we can stay goal oriented
Yeah.
and work towards, because we were trying to get out of debt, but like we didn't have a goal.
Yeah.
So we did this so we could have a goal.
And I was like, man, let's just turn this into a YouTube channel and make it a challenge. Because I watched Harry Tornado. Watched his videos where I know it's such a weird name, but he took
We don't have
$20
everything.
and flipped an entire house. So he
Fuzzy dudes.
he bought a house straight up and then remodeled it with just a $20 investment. I saw that and was like, that's what we're going to do. We're going to take $20 and we're going to pay off our debt, and then we're going to become millionaires with the money that we have raised
So
to
technically,
pay off
we
our
have
debt.
to make $1,060,000.
Yeah. So we got to get on it.
And I know I'm playing with this. I'm a fidgeter. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for being here. That's where we're going to end this video. We are definitely getting you up to date with everything that's going on in our lives, and we're going to get you caught up in the next couple of episodes. Things are selling quick, and we got a lot of videos. These are coming out back to back to back because we're pumping them out as fast as we can to get caught up. I want to be able to be on current days so that if something's hot, you'll know about it then. So like if some trend pops off where we know that like, hey, if you buy these, you can sell it for this. I want to be able to tell you that and not tell you about it being like, okay, this was 6 months ago, but yeah, this is really hot and you missed it.
Or
Haha,
hey,
you
look
suck.
at this stupid.
I don't want to
thing
be that
I
way.
did.
Yeah, because honestly, a lot of the stuff we're not great at this. We're literally learning. We're literally growing. We're just now really figuring out how to use comps and figuring out how to find things that actually sell. We used to find something that sells for $10. We started that for the first 10 to 20 episodes. Like if it sells for $10, I'm buying it. Didn't look at how fast it sold. If it sold on Facebook ever for $10, I don't care if like 3 of them are for $2. If one of them sold for 10, I'm buying that thing because there's a chance that it's going to be selling for that much.
Saying there's a chance.
Now I'm to the point where I will not buy something
more
unless
picky.
it has really good comps, where it's at least, if it doesn't sell for a profit of $20. So if this item sells for $9.99, if I'm buying it from the Goodwill for $9.99, it has to sell for at least $30.
And stuff that's historically good for us. Chacos are
Yes.
historically always great for us. Hokas are great for us. Cameras are awesome for us. If we ever
Yeah.
find a camera, we're buying the thing.
Yeah.
So-
Cameras are doing great. Yeah, there's so much stuff that we have a list of things that like, hey, I bought these and they sold within a week. Buy more of those if you see them. Like Carhartt's in that category for us.
Carhartt do great for us.
Normally, all my Carhartt, most of my Carhartt sells within the first month, especially if it's unique, kind of vintage. People eat that stuff up. And we used to have a Carhartt store probably 15 years ago. So people have tons of Carhartt stuff around here. People used to buy Carhartt all the time. Everybody wore it all the time. Now people are getting that stuff wore out to them, and they're giving it to Goodwill. And it's still great quality stuff. It just might look a little vintage, and that's what people eat up. So we buy those things like crazy right now, and that's going great for us. So we're going to go ahead and sign off here. This has been episode 2 of Long Form. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to see where we go from here.